Let's take a look at this. They're making dating impossible. Is this going to be the nose ring theory stuff where women with nose rings who lean incredibly far left have made dating impossible for normal guys? Because if it is, I've got some stuff I want to share. I've got some stuff that'll ruffle some feathers. Let's take a look.
Your comments saying nose ring theory are literally doing the opposite of what you think they are.
Nose rings can look good on some chicks, but the problem is that it's basically an advertisement to not date you, you know? So if you want to get dating, at least from, guys that aren't out of their fucking mind, take it off.
I want to look this way. I want you to be able to look at me and see that I am a safe space and that I don't tolerate bull.
It's the fucking opposite of what that means. You're not a safe space for cock and balls. Maybe you're a safe space for men who have been neutered and guys who hate their own gender, hate their own race, who they are, their community. But it's like, for most normal guys, they're gonna look at that and they're gonna think to themselves, yeah, this bitch is probably crazy, and I don't want that in my life.
Bullshit. I want you to look at me and know, Donald Trump, men, honestly.
So safe space for who exactly? If it's fuck men, then who's it a safe space for? Women? So then it's not a safe space then. It's like a discriminatory space. They've selected who they want.
Well, this is deeply unpleasant.
This intro is so tough. It's just
Hi, my name is
literal like Apple music, like iMovie stock music.
Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And just a quick note before we do the video, on my
I'm gonna guess your tea is 50% off, Sydney.
tea website, Lions Tea Exchange, I am running a Black Friday / Cyber Monday sale of up to 50% off site-wide.
I can't, dude. There's no way. I can't. There's just no way.
Namely because every time I do, like both men and women on this channel, friends, we just don't particularly like buttholes and insane people, okay? This is not a space to just
put the anti-woke in the bag, Sydney.
aggressively hate on either sex for no reason, so mind your P's and Q's, or I'll find you and snap your little fingers.
All right.
I wish that was more satisfying.
Okay.
That was not worth it. I love that we're starting this video with me threatening all of you like some sort of mafia boss. You know what? Rather than snapping your fingers, perhaps...
Sydney, you are such a millennial. It needs to be stopped. Let's hop on the Brian Johnson longevity anti-aging protocol and try to make it so that we're not... It's like... And we got the Rick and Morty hoodie on. I love her to death, but it just needs to... We have to stop making it so obvious that we were born in the 90s. Before we dive back in, here's something you can actually do when you're bored. Play games and get paid for it. If you click the link in my description or scan the QR code on screen, you can sign up for freecash.com right now and start earning. It's simple. You create an account with your email and password. It takes seconds. Inside, you'll see a wall of games and offers. Pick one you actually enjoy, play through the levels, and the cash lands straight into your free cash account. It's like turning your downtime into a side hustle without even noticing. Some people pull in 10 to 20 bucks a day, but if you put in the effort, you can earn a hell of a lot higher. If you spend a couple dollars in game, you can hit the levels faster, which lets you unlock the bigger offers and payouts. That's how some users end up earning hundreds or even $500 or more on certain offers. But you don't have to spend anything. You can stick to the free offers and still cash out. The whole point is that instead of just sitting there and scrolling, you're making money and playing at the same time. When it's time to cash out, you got options. You got PayPal and gift cards. So if you're curious, hit the link in my description or scan the QR code on screen. Sign up for free. Start playing for cash in your spare time. And when you use my link or QR code, you'll also get a bonus $5 to kick things off.
Perhaps I'll just send you all fish in the mail.
It's like when the mafia send each other fish through the post.
Anyway, one of my dear darling friends sent me this video to laugh at.
Let's take a look. Nose ring theory.
Rather than finding it very funny, it just made me incredibly sad for everybody still in the dating world.
I'm sure you've probably seen
What the fuck is wrong with your face, dog? Holy shit. Yo, this is someone's kid, bro. This popped out of somebody like 20 years ago. Ain't that crazy? What the fuck? Yo, what kind of texture pack she rocking, eh? This is crazy. You know, some person like literally decided to put this through her nose and send her on her merry way. No, it looks fine. It looks fine. Yo, she paid for that. Yeah, I don't know how also you like breathe through this. Your like nasal passages are totally obstructed. I don't know how you're getting oxygen into your brain. You're probably not though, right? That's sort of the whole point. Not doing much of the not doing much of the thinking, right? Nice cum stain too, by the way, on your shirt. Really cool.
And that does like messages their Tinder matches first with like the most
You on Tinder, bruh? Holy shit. God forbid someone, you know, that's a nightmare. That is a nightmare for any normal straight man on the app. You're just swiping through normal women. Immediately you get flashbanged with this image. It's the kind of shit that make you spit out your cereal. You know, you like kind of gasp. Your dog gets frightened. No, sweetie, it's okay. I just saw a ghost. No, sweetie, it's okay. I just saw somebody who looked like they would, you know, surgically remove my testicles while I was asleep. No, dog, don't freak out. I promise. I only got slightly scared.
Diabolical, just random shit.
Sorry, and I know it may sound like I'm judging this person based on how they look.
I do this too. It's one of my favorite hobbies. So every week, I'm going to be making one of these episodes and showing you the things I've said to potential mates.
I won't lie, and maybe I'm alone.
Yo, who the fuck calls their Tinder matches potential mates? Are you like a scientist or something? That's very scientific and strange. My potential breeding partner.
And in this,
The fuck, like, what? Like what?
I think it's a little weird to go out of your way to traumatize men on the internet for views. The lads are simply trying to find someone to love as well. But more importantly, who is intentionally matching with this person on dating apps? Do you have some sort of humiliation fetish? What is going on here?
Here's one of my first ones from this week.
You ever ate a hot dog backwards? Bro, what? What?
Ever ate a hot dog backwards? I feel like this is a great way to open a conversation. Because, like, there's no wrong answer, you know? Now
Yeah, just grate me at this point, twin. That's it. No, I have not. Just grate me.
this one, I think is fucking hilarious. Do you think bugs would choose to work a 9 to 5 if they had better health insurance?
Yo, this is like the hot girl in your life. This is her friend who she swears is hilarious. Yo, what if bugs had jobs? Yo, this is not funny.
God knows I would. Not
You
really
should meet my friend. She's so quirky and hilarious. This is the friend in question.
sure what the theme is with the hot dogs today.
Do you think leftists tried not to be funny on purpose, or do you think it just happens that way? So because I hate myself, I went and looked up this girl's TikTok. She calls herself Bunny, with an I. All of this is checking out so far. It feels
Bunny.
exclusively like this account was made for me to hate watch. Anyway, after scrolling her weird videos, I found that about a month after the clip I showed you, she was banned from Tinder. Yeah, maybe it was asking men
What? Oh man. I guess nobody ever ate a hot dog backward.
weird questions about hot dogs. Just a thought. You see, I got permabanned on the dating app Bumble for impersonating.
Yo, she's so chopped, they fucking banned her. That's actually so funny. Yo, you've actually just been you make people get off of our app, so we have to get rid of you. Literally banned for being too chopped. That is crazy.
Myself. You got banned because you drew anorexic caterpillars on your face. Anyway, apparently women like our friend
Roasted.
Bunny here are making dating a lot harder than it needs to be. And during my travels of the
So Cindy Watson just got possessed by the spirit of Pat God there. I like that.
internet, I came to find out that this is apparently more of a feature of modern dating, not a bug. And because of women who look and act this way, it's given rise to the term septum ring
Alright, she's not as ugly though.
theory, or nose
This girl could be saved,
ring theory.
is what I would say if I hated myself. Gentlemen, there's absolutely no saving. Oh, but there might be saving. I don't know. Don't even trip.
Act this way, it's given rise to the term
No. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing
theory,
that.
or nose ring theory. So, because my birth year starts with a 1-9, I had absolutely no idea what
True.
this meant and had to look it up. And apparently it refers to women who have a septum piercing, or I guess nose piercings in general, being mentally unwell and psychotic.
Alright, kids,
It's fine if you're mentally unwell, right? But then there's getting a nose ring to let everybody know that you're a fucking crazy bitch. So you're not the fun kind of crazy. You're like the ruining people's lives type of crazy. The type of like, you're like a fascist basically, right? Like you crash out and your craziness shows when I make a joke. Like you'll ruin my life over a joke. That's the type of crazy you are. You're like the flavor of crazy that nobody likes.
woke up and I saw this comment and was like, what
We need more like Kanye type of crazies, you know?
does this mean? So I did my little research on the internet, the TikTok search bar, and it turns out that I'm fucking crazy. I mean, he ain't wrong. I'm in
Drop my
therapy, I'm
phone.
medicated, I'm bi, whatever.
At least they're admitting to it. I don't know what to do with this.
The MAGAs.
This bitch just said I'm bi. What does that have to do with you being crazy? I'm so quirky, I fuck pussy. Like what? Yeah, I know I'm crazy. I'm homosexual. Is that like that almost sounds like homophobic.
Whatever.
At least they're admitting to it. I don't know what to do with this.
The MAGAs just started calling this like, oh, nose ring theory. Every woman with a nose ring is apparently crazy. Essentially, what this so-called...
Well, it is true, though. Your friend just admitted it. So either you agree or you disagree, but we already know it's true.
Theory states is that women with septum rings make their trauma, their whole personality, they're unhinged, crazy, and basically it's just a way to discredit, denounce, and degrade women.
Denounce. What the fuck does denounce women like they're ISIS? Do you denounce ISIS? That's how I think of that word, bruh. You don't denounce women. That's not how that word works.
And basically it's just a way to discredit, denounce, and degrade women.
I like that. The triple D. Discredit, denounce, debate, debloat, looks max. I like this. This is cool. It was cute at the end of it. To degrade, to denounce, to discredit women. Yeah, I mean, you would want to discredit somebody if they were crazy, right? Wouldn't you want to do that? So I don't understand that, right? Like, if somebody was a psycho bitch, you would denounce that, right? Like, what? It's a way to discredit people if they're fucking nuts. That makes sense to me.
Your comments saying nose ring theory are literally doing the opposite of what you think they are.
Tell me what you think I think I'm doing by saying nose ring theory, because I think I'm highlighting a trend of behavior that stems from women who have nose rings. But if that's not what I'm doing, I'm sure the fucking modern day Aristotle right here, Socrates, Plato, all encapsulated into one, modern brain here will tell me what I mean.
I want to look this way. I want you to be able to look at me and see that I am a safe space and that I don't tolerate bullshit. I want you to look at me and know Donald Trump, men, honestly. What's going on in the world right now?
I don't know how I can explain this. I just have a hunch her breath go crazy. You know, some like she got like an animal style breath.
Trump, men.
You know what I mean? Some of that In-N-Out fries. Listen, they're so good, but they have your breath smell like poison.
Honestly. What's going on in the world right now?
I love that one's great. Fuck what's happening in the world in general, not specifically like the war, but just like fuck whatever is happening at the current moment. Fuck what any random person is currently doing at this place in time. The guy who just sat down and grabbed a beer from his fridge and turn on his PlayStation. Fuck that person and that activity.
Men, honestly. What's going on in the world right now?
I watched like 20 of these videos of women with septum bars and nose piercings.
Oh my god, wait, that shirt's actually fire. That's Acheeto, the band. I really like that band. I don't know why this bitch is wearing that shirt. They're making something I like look gay, and for that, she must die.
Angrily disagreeing with these comments being left on their videos, but without fail, every single one of them was a leftist, because stereotypes do actually exist for
what in the wigger?
A reason. It actually annoys me a lot because when I was an emo teenager, everybody cool had a septum piercing and all of us wanted one because they were a real sign of being in the alt community. Like the actual alt community, not whatever it is today, whatever the kids are doing today. Now, the only people who look like this are people who have daddy issues so hard they think the government should parent them.
I think it's absolutely hilarious that Trumpers are just now realizing that people who have different views than them have nose rings. Like, yeah, bud. I decided a long time ago I don't want to conform to your beauty standards.
A lot of these people...
Oh, I swear to God, I wasn't even flexing this shirt. I had to crack my back.
People are just...
Anyway, I totally did not catch what this pigeon said. The nose ring theory is correct, and bruh, you trip shrooms once and you get this hoodie from Temu? What the fuck? Shit is hideous, man. Trumpers are realizing that I'm not like them. Oh, I planned this a long time ago. Okay, so what is that like supposed to, is that like a brag or like, I don't, that you've made this decision to like actively sort of take the fact that you don't like Trump and make it the forefront of your personality? That's really cool, man. So this lovely woman here, what do we know about her? That she, does drugs and doesn't like Trump. So we've got a real winner here.
I don't want to conform to your beauty standards.
You know, a lot of the
So just, I want to be ugly. Saying that's hilarious, bro. I don't want to conform to your beauty standards, i.e., I want to intentionally be hideous. Who the fuck, like, made these people so angry at beauty standards, you know? I don't understand. Wouldn't you want to look smacks and become hot? I'm telling you, like, once being hot is just a matter of, like, how many, you know, supplements and injections you can take, everyone's gonna want to be hot. As of right now, it's still a mixture of, like, your lifestyle and the decisions you make, you know, those decisions not being consequence-free. When basically what you eat and how often you work out becomes consequence-free because you can just do an injection that undoes that, these people will no longer be talking about how the beauty standard sucks, right? These fat bitches get fat and they kind of feel guilty about it, and what they want to do instead of actually fixing their problem is just guilt society into, you know, gaslighting them into thinking that they're hot, which is, like, so retarded. But, you know, when they all hop on Ozempic, this will go away. It's already happening with the fat activism. Like, literally, fat activists are hopping on Ozempic now and abandoning their previously held beliefs.
these people are just extremely, extremely alarming human beings. Like the sort of people who you would reject and then they would go to extreme lengths to find you out in the real world and come to your house. And that's actually entirely possible because of how much of your private information.
Yo, Sydney, you know, we're advertising the tea, 50% off, and now you double ad read in one video. Jesus, bro. Holy fuck. Yeah, she getting the bag, though. Respect.
To a bunch of you is that there is a huge schism that has developed between men and women. And this same group of
those Rick and Morty hoodies aren't going to pay for themselves, I guess.
Women who go out of their way to let you know that they hate men, that they don't need men, that men are terrible, horrible demon creatures, are simultaneously quite confused why they're having so much trouble finding a man to date. More specifically of the liberal variety.
This video is for my girlies who are in relationships with liberal men. More specifically, people that are just like super down with like human rights, women's rights.
Ooh, so not me. Yeah, the whole human rights stuff, I gotta say no on that. No to human rights, no to animal rights, no to minorities. Yeah, not me.
Don't support genocide.
Dude, bitches fuck with racist guys, okay? Like, y'all heard it from me, bro. I'm telling you, like, if you're good enough looking, because I'm 6'6", you know, these women, they'll look past some words I say, some things I believe. If you're good looking enough, it doesn't matter, literally. You can look smacks your way into getting permission to be racist. It's fully true. If you look good enough, you know, if you're handsome and you're tall and you got a good style going, women will literally not give a fuck what you say. Like, in terms of, like, it being offensive to minorities and stuff.
Super girlies who are in relationships with liberal men. More specifically, people that are just, like, super down with, like, human rights, women's rights, don't support genocide, aren't transphobic, aren't homophobic, aren't racist type shit, you know?
Type shit, you know. Oh, I know. I just choose not to be. Nah! Who the fuck cares if the person you're dating is transphobic unless you're trans? What does that have to do with the way you guys get along?
I'm curious where you found them. And if you think there's any left, don't get me wrong, super happy that you like got your hands on one. It's kind of giving like ultra rare, like 24 karat gold little boo boo type shit. Like that's super awesome. Just curious if you think there's any left.
What's with this like delivery? Why does she speak this way?
And where you would direct us single girls to find them.
Honey, they don't exist. They're too busy getting pegged. Jokes aside, there's actually this humorous trend on social media where these women, once again, are asking not only where the liberal men are, but where are the liberal men who behave like conservative men?
Do you want to know one of the saddest realizations I recently had? Was that as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age, who is not a conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants...
Like, yeah, it's hard to find green grass that isn't green. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, if you want a traditional person to play a traditional role, they likely have traditional values, you fucking knobhead. I don't, like, you're actually a pigeon. How do you think that shit works? Like, you want a liberal guy who isn't gonna be traditional to be traditional? Yeah, good luck, man. I really do wish you luck because they don't fucking exist. Like, what?
To open your door, who has that want and desire to take care.
Like, okay, I have liberal guy friends and, you know, they're not like retarded idiots because their liberal values are more so like they don't play a role in their behavior. Like you wouldn't think they're liberal, right? And you know, they're not. I specifically also say liberal because they are actually liberal, not like a progressive insaniac who calls himself a liberal. They're actually just slightly less left of center on certain issues. But you know, it's like I would consider Asmongold to be slightly liberal, but he's, you know, people think he's a conservative. So it's like, you know, these labels sort of have been all lost in translation. I think what you're looking for here is something you're only going to really get from a guy who's right wing.
Review and to provide, who is not a conservative.
Videos like this are so surreal to me, and it's very hard to put into words why, but I'm going to try. I don't think there's anything wrong or weird or strange or inherently leftist about wanting to be treated as an autonomous, independent person. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think it's quite strange.
Bruh, my stream crashed. Hold on. No, I mean, what she's saying is correct, right? Like, being good to women is not something that you have to be, like, right-wing to do. But I think what she's asking for, like, what they're saying is more, like, traditional values, right? So you're only going to get traditional values from people who, like, live those values out.
Just like I don't think that treating men with decency and kindness and love should be a particularly left-wing or right-wing thing. However, in the context of men acting this way, it's typically conservative traditional beliefs that underpin this behavior. I'm sorry it's this way. You've told all the liberal men that everything has to be 50-50 and that you want to be fully equal to him, and he's going to act that out. He's going to expect you to behave in such a way that demonstrates that. And fair enough, you've told him that's what you want. It's no wonder that fertility rates are falling. Everyone is insane. To be honest with you all as well, I think that the sort of social conditioning that I just described around male-female behavior is probably why a lot of men now actively do not want to approach women, and why women, the normal ones, are finding this very frustrating.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
Tell me why. Every day I go out.
Wait, what did she say? Touch titties? Is that an open invitation? Do not let the Somalian immigrants find this video.
To me tonight. I'm so sick of this shit.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very simple.
Tell me why. Every day I go out, looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever. Oh my god, like, please. God.
I mean, we've seen this video before, but it's so obvious why this shit happens. Like, it's literally the result of decades of propaganda and anti-male conditioning. And if you don't think that's true, then you tell me what else caused this result, please, because I'd love to hear your theory. I'm sure it's genius. I'm sure you've cracked the code. If it's not the fucking obvious, which is that our culture has clearly demonized men in the way they behave and made it so that we're forced into submission, you know, in ways that are major and in ways that are minor, then please tell me why this is happening. Tell me why good-looking women are not being approached by men. I'll wait.
Guys don't approach girls at the bars anymore.
I do.
I don't expect guys to come up to me, but I know the caliber of my friends, and I know what those bitches look like, and they are some stunning. If guys aren't going up to them, guys aren't going up to fucking anyone. So I think if you're going up to girls at the bar in the first place, whether you say hi, whether you say, can I buy you a drink, whether you use Nick's line, which is a great line, by the way.
Thank you.
I think you have a million times better.
All right, we got to see Nick's line. I don't know why they include this clip, but don't tell us Nick's line.
A shot.
I think it's worth pointing out because it often gets...
Oh, what's this? Oh my gosh, I literally just got word. Nick's line was, hey, Shawty, I heard you gifted 25 subs to Acheeto on Kick. I need to talk to you and get to know you. That's literally that's crazy. Oh my god. And then the alternative version is, hey, Shawty, I heard you donated to him on stream to help, you know, support him and stuff. So that's crazy. I didn't, wow.
Lost in this conversation that a lot of the women who are now experiencing men withdrawing from them, young men withdrawing from them, actually had nothing to do with the messaging that caused that reaction in the first place. They were little girls when all of this was being so heavily laid on everybody. And now, unfortunately, they're the ones who are getting kicked in the head by the messaging that generations beforehand had been, you know, forcing onto men. I don't know if I articulated that well at all. Hopefully I did. So I really feel for these young women because they had nothing to do with it, and I feel bad for the young men because they've been, once again, browbeaten from the time that they were little to sort of go against innate instincts of, you know, wanting to chase and all these.
It's sad because you have the kids who can't sit still because they're young boys literally being put on Adderall in order to try to like sedate them and contain them. And it's like, I just find something about that so troublesome. You know, it's like if you're a young guy, like a little boy, you know, 4th, 5th grade, and you're bouncing around and you're hyper, that's like how you're supposed to be. Right? You're a young guy, you're a little boy, you're full of energy, full of life. Why the fuck would anybody look at that and then say, yeah, that needs to be fixed, right? He's not sitting still learning fucking fractions. Let's give him Adderall. Why would you ever think that's the solution, right? And also, when you call it a solution, you're also calling it a problem. You're saying there's something that needs to be solved, which I don't even agree with.
Fun things. So it's, I don't know, I think everything's pretty screwed up. But this video is not about the women who are collateral damage in all of this. This is about the crazy, psychotic women who are canceling dates because a guy said that he's not interested in politics.
No fucking way, dude. Fuck these hoes, truly. There's no way. Are they doing this?
I was supposed to go on a date tonight, but I realized I hadn't asked him enough questions, so I called him before. I was like, hey, mind if we just do a quick little run-through questionnaire?
Dating in my 30s, canceling... Yo. Oh. Oh no. Dating in my 30s and you're canceling dates? Honey, you're on the clock. It's time to go. Okay? We gotta be, you know, not canceling dates here. We holy fuck. You're dried up. You won't have eggs in a week or two. You gotta go. All right, he's a Trumper. Maybe you fix that, maybe you don't, but you gotta have kids now.
And he's like, yeah. Doesn't care about politics. Doesn't care about politics. So
this guy will probably never realize, but he did in fact dodge a major crazy bullet. I love that you guys don't even have to tell these women that you're right-wing anymore. You can just...
You know what? I mean, listen, I worried about the wrong TikTok. Yeah, no, true. It's also like, you're telling me you're canceling on a guy, and it's like, bro, if this guy's your age, you know he can just date like a 24-year-old and society will not care at all. So, you know, these women in their 30s, you know, 28, 29, 30, it's like, have a little fucking respect, because if you're not showing any respect, you're not letting us explain ourselves and why we believe what we believe, you know, we just go down a few years and no one cares. So it's like, if you're a guy and you're 29, you're going out on a date with a 29-year-old and she's like bitchy to you and shit, you just go and date like a 24-year-old. No one cares. It's actually like a good workaround.
So this guy will probably never realize, but he did in fact dodge a major crazy bullet. I love that you guys don't even have to tell these women that you're right-wing anymore. You can just say, I don't care, and they'll dump you anyway.
Actually imagine, like, I do know a lot of guys say they don't care about politics, or that they're apolitical because they're secretly right-wing, and they know that if they say they're apolitical, they are sort of avoiding the conversation of politics rather than inviting it, which is honestly because, not that they don't believe in these things strongly, but more because they just don't want a problem or, friction when it doesn't have to present itself, so...
Actually meet men and spend time with them, you realize that they don't really care about too many things anyway. This is not terribly surprising behavior. These women have actually pathologized having normal conversations in an effort to get to know somebody, to ask them questions to see if you're compatible. Because these people do not live on planet Earth with the rest of us, rather than spending the time getting to know somebody as a human being like you normally would, they have instead decided that questions are only for finding out if someone is empathetic and progressive and whatever. Lord help you guys. Seriously. Yeah. Imagine having to play...
Yeah, like, I do think, at a certain point, asking somebody who their favorite artist is or what their favorite show is doesn't give you much info about the person. But I also think people who do the exact opposite and need to be just fucking picking your brain apart about politics and your worldview immediately are so insufferable. Like, why does it matter? I just met you. You immediately want to know my stance on, like, the Gazan conflict or Russia, Ukraine, or how we can fix Africa. Dude, we're eating a fucking, like, Biscoff and coffee, Let's have a conversation about something, like, silly, What the hell is Timothy Chalamet up to? He's doing the tennis movie, the table tennis movie. That looked cool. I want to watch that. I'm not a above talking about menial sort of entertainment and inconsequential bullshit. Like, it can be fun.
Progressive 20 questions before you can have the most disappointing sex of your life.
So I've come up with 10 questions that you can ask when you're dating to see if this...
Bro, this is someone's grandma. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
...person actually has empathy and progressive values without being so obvious. Like, they're actually gonna have to think about this. So here we go. So the first question is, tell me about a time you changed your mind about something important to you that maybe your friends or your family members didn't agree with.
I mean, that's a cool, like, brain teaser, I guess, but why the hell this is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine someone, like, actually genuinely asks you this question, like, on a first date. Like, what? Also, yeah, this whole thing is supposed to be subtle, you know, subtle ways to see if they're progressive, and you're like, tell me about one time your family made you not, like, tell me about one specific instance when you became woke. Very subtle.
Mind about something important to you that maybe your friends or your family members didn't agree with.
Like, it's like, talk to me about your journey about becoming a vegan or some shit. Yeah, really, very subtle. You've done a very good job sneaking this one in here. I'll never be able to tell.
It's probably pertinent that I tell you that this is the same woman who encouraged her followers to break up with their conservative partners, so...
Wait, what? Did she do that?
Do with that what you will. Is that dog fluff? Oh my god. Sydney, oh my god.
Oh, Sydney, you're so quirky and millennial.
It's dog fluff. Then there are the women who just patently lose their minds at the very prospect of dating a man with differing political viewpoints.
I cannot believe a man said this to me.
Just immediately I'm repulsed. We've got Vocal Fry, you know, the glasses I think are, what, $2 on Temu. I immediately, I can't. I'm just over it, dude.
Actually, I can. The other day when I posted...
It's just like, you know, we're posting about our interactions with men on social media to, you know, foster an audience of heartbroken, hopeless, romantic women. I'm just over it, dude. It's just...
The video about, like, you know, like, wanting a liberal guy or whatever. I had this dumbass literally send me a message, and he was like, why does it have to be a liberal man? Why can't it just be a man that treats you good? Sir, because a MAGA man isn't going to treat me good. You know why?
I actively, like, crave the sweet release of death.
Let's just start with first and foremost. You voted against my fucking rights.
Ah, yes. This is a completely normal reaction to someone asking you to be open-minded to a nice man. How dare he? I mean, at this point, I am ready to vote against this woman's rights. God.
Dude, they're gonna, like, literally not get married because of their own fucking, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, persistence and being stuck up in their ways. Like, their own entitlement will cause them to be single forever. They will realize the guy who they need in their life to pay for shit is not ever coming. So there's going to be like a mass epidemic of women unmarried in their 30s, not having kids and not dating. And we're going to have to introduce some, like, government welfare assistance program to keep these women, like, afloat. And it's all because they completely disqualify normal guys from dating. It's actually insane. You know, it's like, you can see, at least with the male loneliness epidemic, the economy might be fucked, but guys have been, you know, from the very beginning, at least sort of, like, made to make their own fucking money. So it's like, yeah, you might be lonely, but at least you'll be able to, you know, sustain yourself. These women, let's say they actually, there's like a female loneliness epidemic. You know how fucked they are because they can't make money? Like, they legit will be cooked. I'm serious. Like, it'll be really bad. Some of the loneliest guys I know are actually printing. And you say what you want. Is that worth it? Probably not. Like, to be completely lonely and you have money, what would you prefer? You know, you'd probably prefer to, you know, have a companion and experience love. But, you know, it's like, Jesus, dude.
I pick on single mothers just, by the way, because I got love for you ladies, but I knew as soon as I saw this video that this woman is, in fact, a single mother. Because of the general
I couldn't tell.
air of insufferability. You know, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I can definitely tell that this is a difficult person to live with.
I cannot believe a man said this to me.
I don't know, lady. Maybe get your septum pierced. I hear that that's the entry fee to get the therapy that you so desperately need. So I have been both a woman and
she randomly has these like little pack god moments. I think it's pretty funny.
And right wing more or less my entire life. You know, sort of like oscillating on the right wing spectrum. And it's kind of funny because nowadays I find myself to be the most moderate on certain issues than I ever have been previously. Mostly because I think everybody's insane. I am the only sane one. I have built a tower around myself and nobody is allowed to enter or disturb my sanity. Anyway, it was always important to me to find somebody who had core values that I shared because that just generally makes life a lot easier. But I would never reject somebody because they were apolitical, which you guys know is an actual thing here.
Yeah, this is the biggest crime of these women, is making it so that a lack of interest in politics is a crime. Like, they're so sycophantic and deranged with, like, trying to stay up to date with world events that have no bearing on their life, that they've disqualified the most normal people of all from you know, the sexual marketplace. It's a mind fuck. The guys who have gone through life without really watching the news or paying attention to the world conflicts that take place have now literally been disqualified from dating because they're not like woke. Not because they're right wing, but just because they're not woke, because they're not anything. These are normal people who they play sports, they go to the gym, they play video games, they're entrepreneurial, they're involved in businesses or academics, right? You know, they don't need this sort of like political, you know, interest or knowledge in order to successfully integrate in modern society and to have friends and to, you know, get out of life what it is they desire. And it's crazy. These women are so fucking stupid.
If a guy...
They're just entitled too. Like, oh my God.
Is not overtly political.
And I think the mindfuck that, you know, truly, like, one of the biggest mindfucks is, like, you know, entitlement at least can be, you know, somewhat understandable if what they're offering is so, you know, drastic, right? These women are, they're the hottest women on the planet. They themselves have an income and earning, right? They're very smart. Dude, these women are, like, bottom of the barrel in quality. Truly. Very stupid. Very either average or below average in looks and physical attributes. You know, it's like they don't know how to style themselves. They all have like a rasp or like some vocal fry. They're all fucking crazy, and it's like they really do. They expect a Prince Charming. It's unbelievable.
These women just assume that he is a raging right-winger. No, Bunny, he just doesn't give a crap about politics. Maybe he's the only sane person in the same tower with his hobbies and fishing. Actually, I'm just kidding. A dude with a fishing photo, they would 100% think is right-wing. God forbid a man has hobbies.
As a bi woman, what am I gonna do with that if you don't say that you're liberal? If you're a white man, are you trying and you match, and you like my profile? You see that I'm bi on my profile, are you trying to convert me? Are you trying to...
You know what I never understood about women who are bisexual is how they still care about that label when they're in a relationship. Because if you're dating a man as a bisexual woman, your sexuality, in my opinion, should be completely turned off and exclusive to the person you're dating. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, right?
Anonymous tipped $10. Can you tell me what my dad said in the other room? I didn't hear him.
What? I don't know. What did you tell me what you think your dad said? Also, you misspelled anonymous. Whatever. Thank you for the $10. I really appreciate that. That's going toward my burger that I'll probably eat later. Thank you for the donation, anonymous, for the crispy $10 bill. I really appreciate that. Thank you, anonymous. So anyway, yeah, I think if you're bisexual, right? Why does that matter if you're dating a guy? Like, why is that something you should even keep in mind that you would yes, I'm dating this guy, but don't forget that if push came to shove, I could also fuck a chick. Are you not monogamous? Like, do you not have loyalty to your man? Why would you even say that? Like, what? Why are you even on a dating apps if you're so closed off to any type of attention at all? I don't really understand what you're saying, but I also don't think that what she's saying makes much more sense. So even when my kick chat is not making any sense, they still, you know, they're still better than these TikTok women.
Turn me straight? what's going on here? What's going on here? Are you liberal but just didn't write it? What's going on?
I'm sorry, this one was a uniquely painful watch. Delivering to camera in one fell swoop where you just speak words and they make sense and they sound nice is actually quite hard, but if you can't get it correct, why are you still putting it on the internet? Like, why are you exposing people to this? Maybe we should have just left this one in the drafts. So if you are wondering why this is happening, why dating is so hard, and honestly, this is all pretty self-evident, like I said, there's a massive, massive divide happening between men and women. With women obviously getting much more progressive, and them also determining that political affiliation is one of the most important factors when it comes to choosing a partner.
I know this is happening, but I'll be fully honest with you. I've seen a lot of women making edits of Nick Fuentes, and it makes me think maybe the data's wrong.
And these women want you to know that they hate Trump. They want you to know that they have more extreme political opinions in the leftward direction, and they're very upset that they can't signal these things on dating apps appropriately.
What are we doing? Leftists on dating apps, what are we picking? Because I already started the discourse on Twitter, but I want to know your opinion. Are we picking liberal? Or are we picking non-political other? Like, they don't have an option for us. Please.
Oh, for like leftists? Yo. So because on dating apps, they have 3 or 4 options that highlight most people's opinions and not your like insane opinions, that it's like something you have to circumvent. Okay.
Let me know. What is worse of 2 options? Worse or worse?
Is that an Arctic Monkeys poster you have? It's actually a good album.
Yes. Please let me know. What is worse of 2 options? Worse or worser? Because I'm having a hard time dissecting if these people are actually leftists, liberals, non-political.
Literally so unemployed, dude. Like, how is this your life? How is this your life?
Like, we really need a leftist option.
I find this really interesting, though, on a statistical level, and this has been demonstrated over and
You're
over and
a
over
cock.
again.
Like,
Between progressive women
if you're
and
a guy and this is like, you're like, oh, where's the leftist option? I know these are women, but if you're a guy doing this, you're a cuck. Like, you're literally a sexual cuck. Like, that's all I can interpret from this. If you're watching, you know, women fuck other dudes, you may as well go ahead and make this like that option. It works both ways, right? If you're a sexual cuck, the leftist option should be there for you. And if you're a leftist, you know, you can signal to the women that you want to be with that you'd prefer to watch by clicking that as well.
conservative/right-wing women, us righties are much less worried about finding somebody who aligns with us 100% politically. But unsurprising to none of you, the leftist progressive women are incredibly concerned with it. I found one completely insane survey that, if I'm reading this correctly, determined that very liberal women would prefer to date an ex-felon over someone with a differing political view. This
Just literally subhuman. Just subhumans. Literal subhumans. I live in a world with subhuman creatures. Like literal animal people, dude. Subhuman animal creatures. They're not people. They're not people. These are not humans.
is actually so funny because I found this TikTok which basically says he might be evil but at least he's liberal, and I was like, I don't even know where I'm going to use this in this video, but it fits perfectly here, so here you go. What the because of course you've decided that the felon is less bad than these men who you have decided randomly, arbitrarily are just as bad as, I don't know, Nazis and want to like steal your uterus or something. With the uterus stealing, we're talking about a different group of men. I hate explaining jokes, but I'm talking about the trans. It's weird because despite liberal women desperately wanting someone who politically aligns, they report higher levels of dissatisfaction with life and dating. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Wow, I can't imagine why. Let's draw some dead caterpillars on our face and go figure it out, Scoob. What are you doing? Hi, Liam. I got groomed yesterday and I'm a pretty boy now. You can't see him. He's a pretty
Damn, that dog breathing heavy as fuck.
boy now. All right, go away.
Save some air for the rest of us, man.
Be gone from me, vile man. I also want to give props to men.
I should get a pet. Leave a comment on this YouTube video what kind of pet I should get, because I'm considering getting one. I need like a hypoallergenic dog, like a little small guy. I'll walk him and shit. It'll make me feel good about myself.
here because on a statistical
And I wanted to sleep in my bed too. Oh man, you know, you just go to sleep and your dog's right next to you. Man, that must be peak.
front, and this has been demonstrated over and over, men are just less interested in someone's political views aligning with theirs. Not 100%, just really at all. And I think that's quite evolved, although other people would argue that's just because men will go after anything with a heartbeat. And maybe there's some truth to that too. I'm going to determine that it's because you guys are more interested in someone being nice and kind and lovely rather than who she votes for. Modern dating is really hard, and it's being made even harder by these insane, crazy women who are so fixated on finding somebody who has as extreme political opinions as them, whereas men are just out here like, I just want to find someone who's nice and normal. So maybe the women are doing you a favor then in that case. What I think is genuinely crazy here is that men seem to be on a quest to find someone to share their life with, and there's this massive cohort of women who won't even look their way. It doesn't matter if they're apolitical, it doesn't matter if they're a little bit right-wing, it doesn't matter if they're the most extreme right-wing. These women, these progressive women, view all men through the same lens and tar them with the exact same brush. Like I said before, I don't think there's anything...
Like, you know what's funny to me, right, is that to a lot of women who are very left-wing, you will always be as right-wing as your most right-wing position, right? It doesn't matter if you are pro-abortion, if you are women's rights, if you're pro-immigration. You were okay with Kyle Rittenhouse getting acquitted, and that is all you will be reduced to your most right-wing position, right? Like that's all. It's crazy to me, right? It doesn't matter how liberal you are on everything. If you're right wing on one thing, you may as well have been at the Capitol on January 6th. That's how they view it. And I think that that's so stupid.
Wrong at all with wanting somebody who shares your core values. Because, like I said, it makes life a lot easier. It makes doing a bunch of things a lot easier, like child rearing and all that fun stuff. However, I think that having somebody with whom you disagree on a multitude of topics actually makes life really interesting. And it means that you can have discussions and debates, and you can exchange ideas and grow with each other. If you think the exact same way about absolutely everything, I mean, personally, this is just me. You guys are welcome to disagree, but I don't think that's very fun. And coming back to the videos of the women who are asking, why won't men approach me? Well, why would a man take the risk of approaching a woman when there is a not...
Especially when you see women like this on the internet. It's like, what the fuck do you... like, let's do the risk reward analysis here. If you're taking a risk, it means that you view there to be some potential reward for the risk, some payout for the risk you take. It's like gambling, right? You play the blackjack hand for $100 because you potentially get $200 for winning. Except there is no blackjack hand, there is no $200. There's just maybe you get her number, or maybe she calls the police on you, says eel, rejects you, or you end up getting her number, you meet her, she's a liberal psychopathic freak, so the risk reward is not worth it. Or, and the reward for not even playing the game is higher than for winning. So it's like, what the fuck is the point? If you go about your life normally, you never meet this bitch, you never get her number or whatever, and your life is the exact same, if not better, right? You go home, hop on the game with the fetas, get some dubs. Seems like it's worth it.
0% chance that he is going to get chewed out because he doesn't align with her politically.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
obviously so much to this topic. There's always going to be so much to the topic of dating. And just to be clear, there are a lot of things that obviously we didn't talk about in this video that do revolve around men making dating equally as challenging, but that is a topic for another video. Nope, you guys are not faultless. We blame everybody equally on this channel. But when it comes to focusing on the women, I just have a few final thoughts that I want to leave you with.
Let's hear 'em.
I asked one of my girlfriends who is a former leftist about this, and she is married with children, and I thought her insight would actually be quite interesting into the sort of thought processes going on here. And she told me that even when she was a leftist, her goal was still to get married and have a family, but that was separate from her political views, and more so she was just focused on having a loving family. But where she sees a big difference with the women of today is that many of them are rejecting family to quote-unquote fight the
What the fuck is this TikTok, by the way? Before she continues, this TikTok is saying patriarchy is a man having his boot on a woman's neck and feminism is asking that that boot get removed. Shut the fuck up and make me a sandwich. How about that? How about the boot staying on your neck forever, bro? What the fuck actually do I have to say at this point? This is the dumbest shit you've ever said, and people believe this, and this is why nobody's getting married, because people like this get on TikTok and they spew propaganda. I'm joking about the sandwich part, but, If I give you 20 bucks in Uber Eats and ask for a pizza, I'll let you get some mozzarella sticks in there too. On the house. That's the Acheeto guarantee right there. It's called being chivalrous. Yes.
Patriarchy to combat climate change and to not have children and thus continue ruining the world. And
dude, if you're having kids to if you're not having kids to combat climate change, I just kill yourself. Like,
in her opinion, and I guess in mine as well, it's really, really bizarre. It is very weird to base the entire course of your own life on national politics and world politics. And I think if we're being real, thinking about relationships and love, and particularly men this way, is just making things so much harder than they need to be.
Completely true. Anyway, I get the gist of the video. I'm going to give this one a like. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you're watching over on YouTube, the best way to help me is by leaving a like and subscribing. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye, my N-words.